Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Palzinski. I'm Marketing Communications Manager here at Tricert, and I'm very excited today to have our developer of Simplify Scanning present to you on Scanning Made Simple. So, without further ado, here is Brian Reinbarger.
Thank you, Michelle. My name is Brian Reinbarger. I'm a senior software developer with Tricert's scanning team. I'll have the pleasure of spending the next 45 minutes or so with you, along with my colleague Bobbin, who's a member of our technical support team. Bobbin will be doing the demo portion of our presentation today. Many of you know Tricert for our years of solving printing problems in Citrix and Microsoft environment. But for all of you new folks, let me take a moment to introduce Tricert. Tricert's been in the business for about 15 years now. We're growing rapidly, just recently moving our headquarters to Owings Mills, Maryland, and our business motto has always been to make IT simple. The core of our product line has been our printing solutions. However, we've recently added a comprehensive monitoring tool to help you pinpoint and remediate problems within your virtualized environment. Additionally, we have a host of other products to help make the lives of the IT administrator easier. Tricert's goal is to deliver the best enabling technologies for IT administrators to do their job more efficiently and keep their end users happy. We'd like to discuss what it means to make IT simple today, and then review a few scanning pain points. We'll see what Simplify Scanning is all about and how it's going to help relieve some of the pain of supporting scanners. We'll review the features and benefits of Simplify Scanning, and then take a look at its requirements for a successful implementation. We'll see a demo of Simplify Scanning, and then if we have a few minutes, I'll give you a sneak peek into the roadmap for the product, and we'll also have some time for question and answers. So let's talk about making IT simple. What we really want to accomplish at Tricert is to improve the lives of IT administrators. Many of us come from an IT admin background, so we're familiar with the day-to-day problems admins face. The constant balancing of responding to help desk requests, or what we like to call firefighting, handling requests from your CIO, which are often business critical, but usually a longer-term project, and taking time out of your already overwhelming workload to research and make recommendations on how to improve your critical IT infrastructure. At Tricert, we want to focus on simplicity and power for the IT administrators. And we provide many tools to help you accomplish these goals. While providing tools for you is great, we also want that to translate into simplicity for your users. We really believe that the two go hand in hand. If the admin can't get their job done quickly and easily, the end users won't be able to get their jobs done. Let's take a look at a few scanning pain points. So many scanners, dozens of scanner brands, hundreds of models. That's a lot of choices. Now sometimes choice is good. Just when you had your server set up with the proper drivers, a remote office stops by the local scanner store and grabs a new scanner. Hey, it was on sale. Time to update the server again. And if you load balance across a server farm of multiple servers, you have to update multiple servers again. There are possible solutions for USB connected local scanners, but if you would like to share a network attached scanner between several users, you're out of luck. So many UIs. Each manufacturer has a different look and feel for the UI, and users don't like change. They get used to a UI and are finally comfortable with it. You upgrade their scanner hardware, and now they have a new UI. Time to learn again. Sorry, we got a bit more pain. One of the most popular solutions for scanning, USB redirection, has no real good compression options. Some scanners may actually send full fidelity scans between the hardware and their driver and reduce the data as requested in the driver. Hey, we're connected locally over USB and it's pretty fast, right? All that data has to be sent to the driver on the server, only to be reduced by 1/24th because you only wanted a black and white scan. Let's talk about scanner security. When you have multiple drivers loaded on the server, users can see all the scanners that are on that server. And which one's mine? I have a Xerox scanner and I see multiple Xerox scanners. Which one do I pick? You pick the wrong one and you may see a restricted document. Worse, in a medical environment, you could be in violation of HIPAA rules. Whoops, that's not my document. What's the result? Users are frustrated and can't get their work done. Help desk and IT admins are overloaded and can't address all the users' needs. And so at Tricera, what we want to do is make scanning simple. For 12 years, Screwdrivers has been making Citrix, remote desktop, and virtual desktop printing support simple. It's what we like to call a next install, and there's really not any configuration needed. You put the client out there and you're up and running. Simplify Scanning does for scanners what Screwdrivers does for printers. It makes scanning simple. It's built on top of Screwdriver's robust technology. We support all local and network scanners as well as cameras. It's simple to install and simple to use. So let's talk about the architecture a little bit. We have a simple example. Client details are on the left, server details are on the right, with our network, LAN or WAN cloud in the middle. There's a small client component, what's called a virtual channel plugin, installed on the client's workstation. Now that workstation could actually be a real workstation or a laptop or a thin client running a Windows OS. Attached to our workstation is a scanner and a web camera. Somewhere on our local network is a network scanner, and the client has drivers loaded for all three of these devices. That makes all three devices available in our Simplify Scanning session on the server. Simplify Scanning supports all three popular protocols: Citrix ICA, Microsoft RDP, and VMware PC over IP. Our server, on the right side of our diagram, has our Simplify Scanning component installed. Our server components allow us to receive log on and log off notifications for all users, and we exchange configuration information with the client at logon. We also install a single Twain data source on the server, which provides a single interface for your Twain-enabled application. One data source, regardless of the number of users who might have sessions on the server, keeping it simple. All Simplify Scanning data transmitted between the client and server is isolated to a single virtual channel. You already have connectivity set up between your client and server, and we require no extra setup. No ports or other network settings need to be changed for Simplify Scanning to work. Let's take a look at some of the features of Simplify Scanning. We support any local or network scanner that uses a Twain or a WA driver on the client. This includes multifunction and all-in-one printers and scanners. We support multiple client scanners, and we also support cameras. We're starting to see an increase in the popularity for camera support. They're fast, they don't have any moving parts like the traditional scanner, there's no paper to jam, and if you're just doing a few scans, it works out well. Another feature that we are recently introducing is automatic client updates. Now, this is a great feature. We're really happy with it. Basically, you get to install your client once, and then in the future, when you upgrade your server, the server will exchange version information with the client, and if it needs to be updated, it'll send down a new plugin. Imagine not having to update your clients for software updates again. It's great. And if you happen to connect to an older version, the older plugin will be substituted and it'll talk in the right protocols to that. It really works out well. Our product presents as a single Twain data source on the server. There's only one. You don't need any software loaded by the scanner manufacturer. Any Twain-enabled application can access scanning. And if your application, whether it's designed in-house or a third party, if it says it supports scanners, it's Twain-enabled. We support 32 or 64-bit clients or servers, including mixed environments. It's not a problem. We provide a simple control panel for server administration. It has all the important settings, including compression, packet size, and so forth. We provide multiple compression options, so you can optimize for size of the data transmitted or for speed of the transmission, depending on your network. One of the options is also to turn compression off. We've had some customers who are using hardware acceleration devices at the client and server ends, and they really don't want us to encrypt or compress any of the traffic. Their hardware will take care of it. We provide that option as well. On the server, we present a uniform scanner UI. Remember when we talked about how many possible scanners you could have? Each one has their own UI. They all look a little bit different. The options are all moved around a little bit. We present a single uniform UI on the server to your application. And one of the unique parts of that UI is it reflects the actual capabilities of the client scanner that you're accessing. So if you have a large DP range, the DP range will be reflected in the DPI dropdown. We also support a feature called Scan Profiles. Now what they can do is restrict some of those settings for your scanner so that if your document management system only wants a maximum of 300 DPI for their document scans, you can set up a profile to restrict that to that 300 DPI. If your scanner, this prevents scanners which might have DPIs in the 1200 range from somebody doing a 1200 DPI scan and taking all that extra time. So the Scan Profiles are a great tool. Let's take a look at some of the benefits of using Simplify Scanning. The first one, eliminate scanner driver management on your server. You guys in IT know this is a big deal. It doesn't matter what the endpoint scanners are at the client, you don't need to load any driver software to access it, just our software. We have convenient server controls that allows the IT administrator to optimize your network usage. You can control packet size, the types of compression, whether to turn it on or off, and so on. At logon time, that data is exchanged with the client so that the client control panel, the user can't tweak those settings and mess you up. All this results in an improved user experience. We have that uniform UI regardless of the scanner manufacturer. It looks the same every single time. We've done some testing. We've gotten scan results up to 5 times faster than using a native USB redirection. And in fact, the worse your client upload bandwidth, the better because of our compression technology. We do have some UI tools to allow image cleanup. You can adjust the contrast and brightness before or after the scan. And also you can adjust the rotation if you get a little bit of a misfeed through the document feeder. Also, there's increased security. Users only see their client scanners. No more scans, no more surprises of a document that you weren't supposed to see. The bottom line, less calls to the IT help desk. We all love that. Let's take a look at some of the requirements for the client. Simplify Scanning is available for Windows XP, Service Pack 2 and above. It includes Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 9, Windows 10 when it comes out. As we mentioned, we can support 32 or 64-bit OSs. It doesn't matter to us. We support Zen Desktop, Zen App in the Citrix environment, Microsoft Remote Desktop Services, or VMware View. All we require is a valid Twain or WA scanner driver installed on that client. Take a look at the requirements for the server. We support Windows 2003, 2008, 2012. As we mentioned before, 32 or 64-bit OS is okay. If your client's 32 and your server's 64, it doesn't matter. Again, no scanner third-party software is required to be loaded on the server. Super simple. All you do is add your Twain-enabled application, and you're ready to go. So let's switch over to Bobbin now so he can show you the product in action. Bobbin?
All right, thank you, Brian. That was a great overview. And guys, we're going to now look at the product itself and show you how it works and how it would make your life a lot simpler. So I'm going to show my screen. I'm going to go from there. Okay, expand that for you guys a little bit. Alright guys, so basically what we're going to do right now is, like Brian was saying, it's a client-to-server communication. So right now I have the client installed on my Windows 7 64-bit OS, and all I'm going to do in my demo environment, I have a remote desktop server that I can log into. So basically just log into that server. And like what Brian was saying, the client and the server part is the next step configuration. No extra step is necessary. And as you saw, it was pretty quick in your logon, right? It didn't hold up anywhere, and you, as a user, you don't really get to see any other steps that you need to do to get this to work. So on the install, we have two applications that we give you basically to test to see if your scanning works, right? And those are two Twain applications, both 64 and 32. And all you really do is, if you have any other applications, you can test from that also. But for this test demo purpose, I'm just going to open this up. For Twain, sources, we can just do select source and see that we only have one data source there. That's our simplified scanning 64-bit data source, right? And now if you go back in the file, we do acquire. And guys, for our little demo here, we have a very, simple flatbed scanner, very cheap, it's not that high end, so we're going to be testing with the low end to tell you guys how we make everything simple for you. So as we see my printer using my username, and my session ID here, and I only see my scanner. Basically it's a flatbed scanner, and you have the option to choose different things from color, DPI, setting brightness and contrast. For the test, I want to show you guys the best and greatest, so I'm going to put it into color. And all we really do is do preview. And now we're going to go out there and just, scan your document for you. And we're going to bring it on, virtually, build this scanning here, and it's going to come out in a second. So again, within this, after we scan it, we can go in and we can, do automatic rotation, setting it up for different settings. So like Brian was also saying, your UI you're seeing right here is going to be the UI basically, for all your users. So, there is no surprise when it comes to, seeing this. Your users are going to be seeing this. And there you go. That's basically it. And, this flatbed doesn't support duplex. So what I can do is basically I can take it and I can, scan it one more time, basically. So that's what I'm going to do just for a test base. I'm just going to rotate this around here. And I'm going to do one more time, preview. So this is, I'm just showing you guys, we can do multiple scanning documents at a time. So you don't have to, basically reload our program every time to scan or anything like that. It's already done here. And after this is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the document itself and show you some of the other configurations that we're able to do. And guys, if you guys have any questions or anything, go ahead and ask that at this time. We can definitely get to it at the end. So basically going to wait for this, which is coming up. I see the scanner. So that's basically it. We have multiple pages scanned here. And now what I want to do is I want to just click on one of this, and we're going to expand it out to see what we can do, right? And again, we can do automatic rotation basically. To your liking, you can rotate it, or you can do as much what you want to it. And let's say if it doesn't, if you're not liking that, basically you can go back into setting it for your angle itself, or you can go back and do these other settings, like for example, if you don't want to do the automatic rotation, we have that here already for you. Brightness, contrast, things that you might be interested in. So yeah, that's basically all it is, and we can do OK. And when we do done, it's going to just go back into your the application that you're scanning into, and you can save it wherever you want. And other than that, guys, and that's basically it. Yep, and we're going to go ahead and do done, and go ahead and show you what it looks like. And again, this is a simple Twain app, nothing special about it. But depending on what your app is, it's just you can import it there, do whatever you guys want to do with it there. So I'm gonna give it back to Brian, and I know he has a lot of road plans and stuff that he wants to talk about. So, Brian.
Thank you, Bobbin. Just 1 second. All right, there we go. All right, let's take a look at some of the features that are planned for simplified scanning. Bobbin showed you where you could adjust the contrast and brightness and potentially rotate the image if you need to. What we'd like to take a look at in the future is to do an automatic deskew, so that the images will straighten out on the line themselves. Also, if you happen to be scanning archived documents, maybe they were previously in a binder with punched holes, we'd like to take a look at punch hole removal. In addition to that, we'd like to take a look at some of the cleanup tools, commonly called despeckling, reduce some of the dirty images that you have and clean those up for you automatically. In addition, we'd like to support more file formats. Now, the Twain application that Bobbin shows you just does what they call a memory transfer and transfers in, but also our data source supports file transfers. So you can ask us, you can tell us to save it to a file, give us the name, and we'll take care of that. Right now, we support bitmap format. We'd like to take a look at, we're going to be adding a JPEG and PNG, TIFF, and so forth. So additional file formats coming up. Right now, WA drivers on the client, we're using those in a version 1 fashion. We'd like to support version 2. That'll give us the nice advantage of being able to do duplex scans from document feeders for WA drivers. And a big one coming up down the road is integration with Printing TX. Essentially, you'll be able to scan from your mobile device, any device which is authenticated on the TX network. So that's an exciting development for us. Well, what if you're a current Triceric customer? Well, rest assured that Simplify Scanning is compatible with all current and future Triceric products. We use a server-based licensing model. A little different for Simplify Scanning is that you can get a limited 10-user pack, and that's not 10 users on your server, but 10 Simplify Scanning users. And of course, you can get the traditional unlimited license. Now, all our licensing is done server-side, so there's no licensing on the client, so there's no limit on the number of clients out there who may have the software loaded or how many client scanners or cameras you can support. Let's talk about custom applications. Now, we work with any Twain-enabled server application. Many times people are using Adobe Acrobat or other PDF tools just to interface with their scanner, get the scan, and save it out. But in addition, there's all sorts of enterprise systems out there that you probably already have and work with. Again, if they mention scanning, they support Twain. These include ERP, document management systems, and we run into homegrown applications that are out there. If they support scanning, they should work with Simplify Scanning. And as always, our development staff will work with you to integrate Simplify Scanning into your particular environment. So what are the next steps? Well, you can go to our website and you can download Simplify Scanning and give it a try. As with all TriCerit products, we feature a 30-day free trial, and that is a full feature. We don't restrict any of the operation of the software. You can stay in touch with your TriCerit sales representatives. They always love to hear from you. Or you can visit us online.